If you've ever been in that situation where you've seen, hold on a minute, you know what? I got this win, but this win didn't actually convert to this success thing. What's going on? Let me tell you, maybe you're actually not stuck. Because we live in a world where people tell you, oh, the reason it's not working for you is because you're just stuck in a rut. Maybe you're not stuck. Maybe even you're not stuck and you're not in a pit. And maybe even your finances aren't really going through what you think is a financial fit. And as I say this, I know you might be thinking in your head, but Samuel, if that's the case, then what's really wrong? Maybe you're just moving very fast in the wrong direction. You see, if you were someone who was moving extremely fast in the wrong direction, let me tell you something that will happen. You would assume that you're stuck. If you were someone that was moving extremely fast in the wrong direction, let me tell you what would happen. You would say to yourself, why do I feel so stuck? You'd be saying to yourself, how comes everything I do when I get through still feels like I have to do those things all over again? That is not the result of actually being stuck. And this is why most people never get unstuck, because they think the formula for being stuck is getting unstuck, but they're not actually stuck, so they don't need to get unstuck. Let me illustrate this for you so you understand exactly what I'm talking about. This is what most people think their life is like. Most people think their life is like a chart, and they have what I call the illusion of addition, the addition illusion, right? Let me explain the addition illusion real quick, okay? The addition illusion is you think over time, let's take this off here so I can really get into work. They think over time, what's actually happening is their life is incrementally getting better. That's what most people think. They think over time their life is getting better, getting better. Next day it will get better. Tomorrow it will get better. Tomorrow I won't need that sweater in this weather. Most people think their life is getting additionally better, but there's an illusion of addition. Because what's happening with most people's life is it's not getting incrementally better. Although you think in your mind your life is doing this, over time, let's call this value, okay, to make this make sense. Over time, most people think incrementally they're increasing in value. They think incrementally they're getting better. But here's the reality. Over time, you are not getting better. If you're someone that every time you get a win, every time you have some success, you realize soon after you're still making no progress. So let me tell you what's really going on. Because the reality is not the illusion. The illusion is the mindset of addition. One day it's going to get better. One day it's going to be all right. One day it's going to work itself out. Okay. That's the illusion. Here's the reality. The reality for most people looks much more like a hamster wheel with multiple spokes. A hamster wheel with multiple spokes. And this is what I call stuckolocity. Stuckolocity. When you have an element of being stuck, but it's at high velocity. When you're just moving very fast, but you're going in the wrong direction. You see, the trap of stuckolocity gets so many people fixed in a mindset where they think, you know what, one day I'm going to get out. One day, without a doubt, this is all going to work out. I'm here to tell you, even whether you kick, scream, or shout, there's no way out if you don't realize what's actually going on around. Imagine this. Imagine your calendar is completely full up. Imagine your bank account is even slightly growing. But with your calendar full up and your bank account growing, your freedom is actually leaking. You see, because this is what's happening to most people. Most people are in this exact same predicament year after year, week after week, month after month. And then they take a look up outside of the parapet and realize decade after decade, they're having the same problem percolate again and again. They're attempting to become free through this illusion of addition, but they're realizing the reality that they're facing stuckolocity. They're going round and round in what feels like a hamster wheel, never making any progress. Maybe even think about the analogy, instead of a horse, of a rocking horse. You see, if you sit on a horse, you can go 10 miles per hour and go so much further than someone going 90 miles per hour on a rocking horse. Now you might say to me, Samuel, how comes someone on a rocking horse, even they're going 9 times, 90 miles per hour, 9 times faster than me, are still making no progress? Because a rocking horse was never created to actually move. Think about all the energy. Think about all the effort. Think about all the enzymes in a human being's body being pumped into that rocking horse, only for that rocking horse to stay in the same position regardless of the human being's volition. This is what's happening in our day and age today. We have multiple people thinking to themselves that they're going to produce some outcomes, they're going to improve their health, they're going to take steps so they can radically improve their wealth, but they're literally facing stuccolosity and they can't move forward regardless of help from you or me. If that's your story, I want to help you unlock and unpack that situation so you can get off the proverbial car jack and you can start to move. You can start to go forward in ways that you've asked yourself, how comes I've never been able to go forward like this before? And I shared it a moment ago. The real issue is the fact that your freedom is leaking. And if you understand where your freedom is leaking out from, you can take the steps to make sure that your freedom no longer leaks. You see, most people are just focused so much on adding incrementally that this is when they start to lose exponentially. You see, when you start to introduce a new way of doing things, everything you were doing before starts to take a new form. Everything you was doing before begins to transform, and everything you've ever wanted starts to become your new norm. A question I would encourage you to ask yourself is, am I actually ready for the future I say I desire? Because again and again, I see people who are friends say to me, Samuel, one day I'm going to get there. And I ask myself, if I look at your daily routine, will it equate to your future desire? And if the answer to that is no, oh, let me say this a bit up close. If the answer to that is no, then what's really about to grow? Because when we start to realize that we're growing trees that have no correlation with the seeds we thought we planted, that's when we start to come to a place of acceptance of the calamity that we've granted. Sometimes we need to take a step back and realize to ourselves, you know what, if I want to produce the biggest and best outcomes, I need to make a change. Because currently, the success I desire is actually estranged. It's separate from how I'm living. It's separate from what I'm giving. It's separate from how I'm thinking. It's separate from my community. It's separate from the you and me. It's separate from everyone around me. What do you expect is going to grow when that is how we can identify your present flow? Let's do a notebook task real quick. I want you to take out your journal and I want you to write this question. And as you write this down, here's what I want you to do. I want you to answer this question as genuinely as you can with every iota of your heart, spirit, and soul. The question is, where is my freedom leaking from? Where is my freedom leaking from? Is it because you've said to yourself, life's about the grind. I'm going to do whatever I can to get all that is mine. And you're going so hard to make money or to make wealth, but you're realizing it's never actually producing the results you desire for yourself. If that's your story, then you know what to write in your journal. Where is my freedom leaking from? And just be super transparent with yourself. Ask yourself, am I finding that I'm not having enough time to spend with my children? Am I finding that, you know what, I'm up late at night because my finances give me a fright? If that's you, then let's take heed to this task. Let's write in our journal that question, where is my freedom leaking from? Because without acknowledgement, there can be no address. Without acknowledgement, how can you address the very singular sole thing that's creating your stress? There are so many people in this world who will never acknowledge the fact that they're dealing with stockolosity, and as a result, their finances are being dwindled with a high level of velocity. But that doesn't have to be you. That doesn't have to be your story. You can make the change. I want you to comment in the chat the word diagnose if you're ready to get to a place where you can unpack what's stealing your freedom. And as you comment that word diagnose in the comment, I want you to know that what you've written in your journal is the beginning, is the foundation, is the entry point for you to start to truly have success. And that's the reason why I always say to people, small keys open big doors.
Small keys open big doors.